In FPL Gameweek 10, I took a 12-point hit, but rather than being the golden bullet which fired me up the ranks, instead it looks like I may have assassinated my season. And it all looks so good when the Gunners sharpshooter Declan Rice fired in their goal. 12 points was a fantastic start to the hit, but after that it was all downhill, and this game week has proven an unmitigated disaster. And I have come out, I have just watched Newcastle, my beloved Newcastle, and then, you know, when you love someone, sometimes they test the limits of your patience, and my word, that football team is doing that this season. That performance was abysmal, and the problem is, I brought in Big Dan Burn, and you know, there was a devil on my shoulder which was telling me to captain Big Dan Burn. Oh, come on, Nightmare, he's going to get a goal. Come on, Nightmare, guaranteed clean sheet. Well, it's a good job I didn't listen to that, because Newcastle were abysmal. I just don't know what's gone on. And so I've come out now. The Man City match is about to start, but I just want to get all this. I am a very frustrated man this week, and I want to get all this out of my system because my beautiful wife's just about to finish work and she deserves the best of me, not this irate mess that I have become because of this game we all love. I mean, I'm not irate, really. These are the risks when you take the 12-point hit. It has to be the long-term play, and you know, maybe it will prove successful in the coming weeks. But I mean, this week, it just hasn't so far. I mean, I would personally, what have I got? I've got 1 point off Burn. I got GW10 points don't really matter. I got 2 points off Umbumo. And then I got the 12 points of Rice, which really, or was it 13 points from Rice? I can't remember. But it saved the situation, really. And like you could say, oh, you lost Joao Pedro's points. Well, not really bothered. You know, Reinders might come off the bench, do something. Doesn't really affect how I judge the hit. Because the way I judge the hit, it's the 12 points plus the points from the starting players, you know. So I would say if I got to 18 points off those players, that would be the break even, because there's a 12-point hit and then there's the appearance points for the 3 players, and I don't really count GW because he was never meant to play. And look, I did get a bit lucky because your man Agbadou got sent off, so, you know, I could say, oh, I've pulled it out the bag with that. What a genius move, 6-point gain on that transfer to Burn, and, well, 2-point gain after the hit. And then I suppose when you look at your man Declan Rice to Kudos, that's a 11-point gain, and suddenly it does actually look quite good. But don't judge it like that, because I judge it on the baseline. The baseline 2 points plus the hit, because once a player's gone, doesn't matter, because players I don't own will score every week. So if I'm judging myself on players I don't own, then it's like not really ever going to be well. But yeah, I mean, it was quite ironic. I'm a bit on edge because there's a couple of people following me with the dogs, and I'm going to loop back through the playground. Oh, there's a roundabout here, and this season has been a merry-go-round. Look at this, I'm on the roundabout. Oh, heck. Oh my God, this is not a good idea when I'm carrying an expensive camera. But swings and roundabouts, FPL produces. Oh, I might go this way, actually. So let's try and get some sort of coherence to the conversation that I'm trying to have with you today. I do have a couple of notes. So yeah, I needed them to get the 18 points to break even. That was the aim for me. Because once they've gone, they've gone. And, you know, there's lots of other players I could have signed. Do you know what's really frustrating? All season I've been like, I don't want to double up on defence. I don't want to double up on defence, because doubling up on the defence, it just leads to double the pain. And then it's come down to it, and did I get Gahey? No, if I'd have got Gahey over Dan Burn, this hit would have been a genius move, because Gahey absolutely did the business. 10 points, I think he got. So if I got 10 points off him and 13 points off Rice, and then, 2 points off on Boomer, so there's 25 points off a 12-point hit, and that's the fine margins. Oh, there's a dog running behind. Don't know if you can see that. The fine margins in this game, and Gay, it's easy to say with hindsight, but with foresight, I knew I probably needed some Palace coverage. I've got no Palace players. I'm not really bothered about Mateta. But I'll get back to that in a minute. But yeah, not getting one of the defenders. And you know what it is? I just keep thinking to myself, how is Gahey going to keep this going? But he just is. And now, I could do Pedro Porro to Gahey next week. I'm getting sidetracked. I'll get back to my point. So I went for Dan Burn, and that is an emotional move. And I like to invest emotions in this game, this spreadsheet game we all love. I try to play with emotion, and maybe that is a mistake I'm making. Maybe I am allowing my biases to cloud me to what is really going on. Because if I'd have got Gahey in instead of Burn, I would still have had the Newcastle defence. And I would have had the Palace defence, and I know so many people have Palace defenders, and I don't. So every week, irrespective of which one, every week, I'm taking on one of the best defences around. And it's difficult. It's difficult. I've only got one Arsenal defender. Of course, I've got the main one. So that's at least something. And I think, could have got Timber in instead and changed the hit slightly. Because I had talked about selling Saka for Rice, and then I would have the Timber instead of Burn. I mean, that looks like it would have been absolute genius now. Instead, I went for Kudos to Rice. And I still think that might pay out because Saka, he had a couple of good chances. He wasted them. But if it's the fact he's getting them is always a positive sign. Turning back because these dog walkers are still following me. I'm not very good in the public. But the fact he's getting the chances is a positive sign. If he wasn't getting them, you could justify selling him. But then, of course, João Pedro had no shots on target for club or country for 2 months. You sell him because all the data backs up the fact that, and I mean, to be fair, I don't like Pedro anyway. So you sell him and it makes sense, and then he goes and gets a goal and puts in an all-time striker performance, and apparently we're lucky he didn't get 20 points. So it's a tough game. So I'm not too worried about Saka in the short term because I have now got on Boomer. So what I could do here is when the Arsenal fixtures get a little bit tougher, I can do Saka to Fernandes or Gakpo, Zoboszlai. And then, but if, say we'll go with Fernandes in game week 13, getting Bruno Fernandes, game week, and that gives, right, I'm getting distracted, right, get the focus, the dog walkers have gone, it's all on you now, Nightmare. So, game week 11, Saka has Sunderland. Game week 12, I am free hitting, so that's not an issue. So it's game week 13, I can't remember Arsenal's fixture that week. So I could keep him or I could sell him for Bruno Fernandes. And then game week 16, obviously on Boomer goes. So I've already got Fernandes, could sell on Boomer and get whoever is hot then. But then I signed the hot informed player in Ryan Boomer and 2 points. It's a tough game, and I have made it harder on myself with this -12. Of course, the hit for Pope a couple of weeks back again has not paid off. And the fact he's probably going to get 2 save points against West Ham, I don't know what's going on with Newcastle. It's like every season, 3 years now, we've started the season absolutely abysmally. And, we got the clean sheets early doors away from home, and you think, this is defensive solidity, you just need to add the attack, but something not right. I don't know what it is. And then Europe, you go away, but to be fair, the Champions League's probably easier than the Premier League at this point of the season, of the competition, which is a funny thing to say, really, but it is what it is. But You know, he takes off Gordon and Voltemada at half-time. Like, what are you doing, huh? Like, against a low block, you take off the creative striker for, you know, Will Asula, who, to be fair to the lad, he's a bit of a circus act. He looks like one of them TikTok footballers just showing off the skills, and there's no decisiveness, there's no real intent to his play. But this is an FPL blog. This is an FPL vlog. So let's not... Do you know what it is? It's that Saudi kit, like, when we deserve it. I can't remember ever seeing us winning the Saudi kit 3-4 seasons now, when we deserve it, because we shouldn't be supporting these people. I don't like it, but the kit is horrible. And like to me, why do Newcastle always underperform in a green kit? Well, it's like the peripheral vision. Like, I can see the dog walker over there from the side of my eyes while looking at you. You're looking your peripheral vision for a green shirt on a green pitch, you're not going to see it. And it sounds stupid, but at the highest level, the smallest things make the biggest difference. And Newcastle just underperform wearing that kit all the time. But this is not a Newcastle vlog. Frustrating as it is, fucking damn burn, like... You know, if I'd have kept Vicario and got Gahey, I would have been 8 points, 4 points better off from the hit. But this brings me to a point I want to discuss, and I brought it up in the group chat with Trig and them the other night, and last night, in fact. And I was telling Trig off there, because, like, all weekend, Trigger has been stressing because he sold Joachim Anderson for Gabriel. Oh, I can't believe I've sold Anderson. What am I doing? I wish I'd not sold Anderson. For Gabriel, the defender's Haaland. Why are you stressing about that? And it's like, I wish I'd just kept the transfer. I wish I had just kept the transfer. And it made me think, is the reason so many of FPL's traditional experts, so to speak, you know, the high-profile players, we will dub them to avoid opprobrium, if that's how to say that word. But FPL's traditional high-profile players, so many are struggling. You know, Ben Crellin was 3 million before this game week. And people will say it's the models, oh, it's FPL review, it's Solio, I think it goes deeper. I think the problem is the 5 free transfers, you know. We all thought when they brought it in, this is a great move. This 5 free transfers, this is going to benefit the engaged player who can plan and strategize and target the moves for the right times. But I think it's having the opposite effect. I do not think the 5 free transfers favour the engaged player at all. And I'll tell you for why. Because before they were brought in, we all had to refresh our teams every second week at the most, because otherwise you'd lose the transfer. So every 2 weeks, you had to make at least 1 transfer, normally 2. And what that does, when you're making a transfer every week, it means your team is constantly being refreshed with the hot player of the week, with the best player of the time. Now, this may seem somewhat counterintuitive, or you're all reactionary, or, you know, you're just reacting to last week's points, and there is an element to that. But how many hot streaks do we miss out on because we don't back these players anymore? How long did it take some people to get Semenyo in? For example, Gabriel. Like, look at me, I've still got no Crystal Palace defenders. Although I'm not a very good example, because I'm taking hits every fucking week at the minute. Pardon the French. Oh man, I'm a bit tired. I'm a bit frustrated with Newcastle, but I am working off that frustration doing this video so my wife can have the best of me when I return home. But we're not refreshing our squads. Like, I was talking to Black Box Az, and he was somehow even lower than me, which, you know, I'm not gonna rip him for it, because it's a hard game. It is. And he's got 2 free transfers. And it's like, oh, should I use them? Should I use 2 free transfers? I have 2 free transfers to use on a team, 4 million in the ranks. I think I'll just roll, have 3 next week. And it's like, your team's not very good. Like, this isn't about ours. This is about a lot of people. Your team isn't very good because it's down in the depths, you know. Still, to be fair, top third of the game, 12.3 million players. But, you know, it's not doing very well. It's not a good team. And yet rolling the transfers makes him feel a bit more powerful, or makes us feel more powerful. I'll say it for me, because Trigger Lips is the same. His rank is on the slide. I think this week is his first green arrow in 5 game weeks or something. His rank is on the slide, and he's not making the transfers. He's saying to himself, I'll save it for next week and be in a stronger position. But you're not in a stronger position because you've missed out on another player. And, oh, I could bring them in. You know, you could bring them in. Like, say someone like Voltamada, for example. Like, fair enough, he came off at half-time today. I don't think he did anything in the last match. Well, that might have been the cup match I'm thinking of. No, he scored in the cup. Bloody hell. I'm not with it. My head's mashed by Eddie Howe's terrible early season tactics. But Voltamada, when he was on that little run, you would have brought him in, got the goals from him, because you had to use a transfer. Whereas now we think, oh, we'll wait another week, see what happens in a week. Gabriel, you would have got on him early because you had to use the transfer. Oh, I'll just see another week. He's got a bit of a hard game in 3 game weeks, so maybe I'll wait till after that. Use 5 free transfers and restructure around him. And it's like, well, 3 years ago, we'd have just got these great players in who were doing great, and now we're not doing that. Well, I am. And it's not really having the effect, but there's other reasons why I'm struggling, mainly because I went for Palmer and Saka and Anthony Gordon at the start of the season over Haaland and or Salah. And then Palmer and Saka got injured in game week 2, and Gordon got his red card. And then I panicked into a wild card when really I should have taken the -12 then, dealt with the mess, and I would have still had the wild card, and I didn't, and now I'm playing catch up. And I feel like I have caught up now. Like, I know people are saying, oh, you're down to 3.8 million, you know, you're dropping further, and I am. There's no denying that. Like, I am struggling this season. And it's because of my choices, you know. I chose the Palmer-Saka strategy, and maybe I was a bit unlucky that Saka got injured, Palmer got injured, and Gordon got sent off, maybe. But then at the same time, we all know what Haaland does early season. Why didn't I just prioritise him? These are things I've got to learn. You know, you can make your excuses, or you can learn the lessons, and I need to learn the lessons because I want to be the best. I want to win this game. And the way I've played this season is not conducive to doing that. And that's on me. That's my fault. Frustrating. But yeah, I don't think people are using the transfers effectively. I feel like all this let's roll for another week is just stupid talk. I do. Like, you wonder why you're struggling. It's because you're not being aggressive with your team. It's because you're not, you know, like Joe Linton today for Newcastle. This is the example. Absolutely abysmal. I don't think he played one good pass, one good shot, one good cross, arguing all the time. I love Joe Linton. He's done so well for Newcastle in the past. He's a very popular character. A lot of good memories associated with that man. But it's time for him to come out the Newcastle team. And he's not good enough. He's not good enough at this moment in time. But Eddie Howe sticks with him, and we go away to West Ham and lose 3-1. And Joe Linton is abysmal. And it's not just Joe Linton, but this is the example. We stick with Joao Pedro for 5 game weeks, and yes, he gets the goal. But now, the problem with that is, now you've got Joao Pedro who's just scored. Is he going to go on another 5-week run like he has? You can't sell him now. He's got Wolves and Burnley. I think, you know, Gyökeres. You stick with him through 5 weeks of nothing for 1 goal, a couple of bonus points. Now you've got to deal with him. But in that time, you could have had Mateta. You could have had Walter Marder, you know. And then you could have kept the Arsenal spot free for this last couple of weeks, this week, where the fixtures are at the best, to get the best players. If you're on a free hit, you would never have brought in Gyökeres. You would have probably brought in Gabriel, Saka, Timber, you know. But Saka obviously wasn't a good pick, but Declan Rice was. And I want to talk a little bit about Declan Rice. This was another point I wanted to make. Now I've made the aggressive transfers point. Why are people so snobby about Rice? Like, I think in his last 22 games, he's got 150 points or something. And he's producing the goods every week. Even if it's just DEFCON points, he's still getting the additional points. Declan Rice is an incredible player and an incredible FPL asset. My man, the Ox, in the Nightmares Dreamers mini league, ahead of all the content creators, all the so-called experts, the high-profile experienced players. My man, the Ox, is up to 2.9 thousand in the world right now. And he brought in Rice for Rangers last week. Nobody else would have done that. Well, I did that this week, and so did my man, the D Unit. Nice to see Darius getting back up there. He's been struggling, poor lad. Good lad. Nice to see D Unit getting back up there. Brave captaincy of Gabriel. You know, so many talked about it. The D Unit followed through and delivered the goods. And to be fair, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen with Haaland. Maybe it was a mistake, but anytime your captain gets 12 points, it is a success. So fair play to D-Unit for having the cojones to go through with that move when so many talked about it and pulled out. But Declan Rice, the numbers are unbelievable. The consistency is unbelievable. He's on set pieces, he's on free kicks, he's on the corners, he's scoring from the edge of the box, he's now scoring diving headers in the box. He's getting the DEFCONs, 21 DEFCON points, 21 DEFCONs yesterday. This player, Declan Rice, is everything we want in FPL assets. He's everything we want from FPL players. He's 6.7 million. Won't be for long. 6.7 million. He's returning extra points every week. He's getting big hauls. He's on free kicks. He's on corners. And nobody's bringing him in. And it's stupid. Like, I'm not telling people, I don't like telling people they're wrong. Unless they're my mates and it's banter. And most of the time when I do that, it's just me being a Billy Big Bollocks to try and like get my energy up for the week and boost my own confidence. But not having Declan Rice is a mistake. He's too good. And the thing is, I think it comes down to position snobbery. Because if Declan Rice was a winger on free kicks, on corners, scoring all these different types of goals, getting all these extra points every week, if he was a winger, then everyone would have Declan Rice at 6.7 million. But because he's a central midfielder, people are turning the nose up. And it's a mistake. Like, let's look at some of the great assets in FPL history. Cesc Fabregas, hundreds of points. Central midfielder. Steven Gerrard, I mean, fair enough, maybe his best season was when he was playing as the winger, but central midfielder, hundreds of points. Frank Lampard, central midfielder, hundreds of points. Declan Rice is now adding himself to that list. Like, in my video the other week, in the week, one option I discussed with the -12 was Rice to Saka to get Timber as well. And it just felt too risky. It felt too dangerous, but, you know, would have paid off immediately with a 10-point gain. And that's what Saka's bringing. That's what Rice is bringing. And not just that, he's bringing robustness. You know, Saka, you're never quite sure how he's going to handle the injuries. Ooh, there's a headband. Apparently, it's unmanly for people to wear things on the head in FPL videos, but we'll do it anyway because why not? You know, shout out me man as. But lost my point now. The bunny ears have taken the power of analysis from me. But yeah, Saka, how long will he stay fit? We don't know. How long will he be rotated with Madueke? Will he be protected to some degree? We do not know. But Rice, yes, he had that little rest at one game. But Rice is robust. He is a 90-minute man. He will play every week, bar maybe 2 or 3 games a season. He is on free kicks. He is on corners. He is scoring headers. He is scoring screamers. He is the man, Declan Rice. And 6.7 million. Like, you've got Gabriel in defence, you've got Haaland up front, you need Rice in midfield as well. That's just the way it is. So, yeah, so it's been a very disappointing week. I'm not going to lie. Although I managed to find a way to get the light on my camera to stay on without knackering the gimbal. Bit of a shout out to the DJI Pocket owners who watch this. Yeah, so that was handy. So, made all my points. We'll have a quick look at my team at quarter to 5 on the Sunday. Wonder if Guardiol has got any of the 21 points I need to avoid a red arrow. Nope. What's the actual score? Oh, no. Oh, it's not even updated. That'll explain that. 0-0. Well, normally is. Look at them bunny ears. What an idiot I look. So, yes, quick rundown of my team before we go. Pope, 3 points. He didn't even... Surely he got the second save. Yep, 7 saves against West Ham. And he conceded 3 goals. That sums up Newcastle. Problems that need sorting. People here now. And if I don't normally feel awkward about people, now I've got these kids' bunny ears on my head. You know, I'll take the active tracking off so you can see them properly. What an idiot. Oh, well. So, Porro 2. I think this week it'll be Porro gone. I think Porro... I know I said about rolling my transfers, but to be honest, I'm not going to lie, considering another hit, thinking Vardiol and Porro to Gehi and Munoz, but then it's Brighton, and I'm not convinced bringing in defenders against Brighton is a good move. But who knows? We'll see. I feel like I need to get out of the hits. I feel like I just need to roll next week, take me licks, because Porro could do something against Man United. Vardiol's on my bench anyway, against Liverpool, so... But then will Porro be rotated? And then who have I got? Sine, well, you know, I mean, I might even start Longstaff. Can't remember who he's got. But, yeah, I might do Porro to Gehi, and I know it's Brighton, but if he does something, great. If he doesn't, well, at least everyone's got a Palace defender. So that's me potential transfer. Guardiol in play, Gabriel 12, Burn 1. I did captain him in Greyheads, great in the good, strictly captaining game. Foolish. At least our other one was Gabriel though. Umbumo 2, Saka 3, Rice 13, Voltemada 1, and then Haaland captain and Semenyo still in play. As it stands, I've dropped 1 million places in the rankings from 2.6 to 3.6 million. I am currently 18 points below the safety. Obviously, Saka and Haaland and Semenyo will make very little difference to that. So that's what we need from Guardiola. We need a 20-pointer, and maybe he'll get it. Who knows? So, yeah, next week I'll probably either roll or replace Pedro Porro with Gehi, then game week 12. The free hit, frustrating week, not going to lie. Very frustrating. When Declan Rice fired the Arsenal 2-0 up, it was threatening to make me look like an absolute genius, and it was making people think maybe the -12 is the way, but my hero's journey this season looks like instead turning into a cautionary tale. And a once proud man ends the campaign with the kid's wet bunny ears on his head because all we have left to do is laugh. Well, thanks. I will be back in the week with a more coherent video, more strategic one, addressing how I'm going to deal with this situation. Frustrating, but it's not the end of the world. It is not the end of the world. It is just a game. It's meant to be fun. It is fun. There is a challenge here for me. How high can I get up? And the problem is, of course, the longer it goes on, the biggest issue is it's another game week, you know. It's another game week gone by with nothing being done to make the situation better. But I did know, YouTubers always say we when they mean me. I think it's to make you feel like we're in this together. But luckily for you, you do not have to deal with the consequences of my decisions. Because God, who would want to? Who would want their FPL team managed by me right now? Never mind. But this was a reset week, and we have reset the team. Maybe next week, game week 11, is when we start seeing those benefits. Who knows? Thanks for watching. We will see you next time.